if I don't do it, I feel like I'm constantly chasing the day, as opposed to being able to be controlled and dictate the day. Not that you're, calling the shots on what comes forward, but the fact that I am set and ready for whatever may come my way. I have a calmness about whatever comes my way, and I'm poised. And that comes from starting the morning off with meditation.
This tool helps me find moments of peace because I don't have a whole lot of time that extend my day so I can live like my fullest capacity. Like, it gives me 2 days in one day. It just gives me this power.
It's been around for a while, but I think on a widespread level, it's being picked up by everybody now. It's being understood as something more than some kind of religious, nutty thing. It's a system of teaching yourself how to get into a state of relaxation that affects your entire life.
It's not just finding quiet, it's finding bliss. And that is natural, that is for everybody. You see it in babies, you don't have to teach it to them. We somehow forget.
It's a different experience every time, but I get glimpses of something that energizes me on such a deep level that I'm not sure exactly what I'd do without that form of prayer. It's a way to be in touch with who I really am.
You meditate?
It helps me because it puts me in a conscious space. Because before I actually do it, I keep reminding myself, I ask myself, who am I? Who am I? Who am I?
It's just a reminder that underneath all our comings and goings, our successes and our failures, there is a deeper dimension to our lives, and we can tap into it and show up from that place, which is wiser and more joyful and more compassionate.
Have that tool now, and to be able to go inside to the deepest part of myself and to access that and to recharge my battery internally within myself. I feel so badass.
I was personally not in a good place. I think, just overdoing it in the 60s. So I was just not very sort of centered, and I was looking for something. I think we all were.
I was very impressed by the people that I learned that they did TM, and I was like, well, they're interesting people, and there must be something to it, and I thought I'll try this, even though I'm not good at meditating. It is the only time I have that stillness. It's the only way I've ever been able to sit long enough that I open my eyes and I'm sad that it's 20 minutes later.
I'll tell you my greatest regret. I didn't know the importance of that morning TM in those days.
Wow.
If I had 2 TMs, I'd still be doing the show now.
Right.
I did not have the energy. I was exhausted.
Sometimes you
painfully exhausted all the time.
It's like a kickstart for your day. It just centers you, and your stress levels are just down, and you find yourself interacting in the world much easier and better, and in a calmer way, and there's just a peaceful joy that sort of comes over.
As much as we pump iron and we run to build our strength up, we need to build our mental strength up.
I am a big proponent of meditation, and for radio, I feel it added tremendous creativity, and having that morning and afternoon. In fact, to this day, after I do the radio show, my head is pounding so bad from the headphones and the loud noise and 5 hours of headphones and talking. I mean, it's exhausting.
Right.
I go and I meditate, and I walk out, and I have the whole rest of my day. And I'm a new person.
I know.
I don't think I could really live without it.
I wanted to learn about transcendental meditation due to my dissatisfaction with some of the pleasures that I talked about. Drugs, the fame, the celebrity, the consumerism, the wealth, all of these things that pledge happiness but deliver so little of substance. And in learning about transcendental meditation, I found very quickly access to a deeper state of happiness, which is very profound.
Meditation promotes gratefulness. You want to be grateful. You want to operate from a grateful space. It allows you to, the person who is grateful is really attractive. It allows you to be a good giver. And again, good givers are great getters. I think that kids are growing up in a world that's full of stress. It's full of anxiety everywhere. There's this pressure to succeed. There's this overemphasis on things on the outside. There's a de-emphasis on the things on the inside. And kids, it's a difficult place to grow up, this world. You can give every kid happiness when you give them meditation. The moments when they realize they have everything you have, give them that gift. Very, very important. It's the greatest gift you can give is consciousness. So please,
Alright, so in this video, we're going to be talking about the power of meditation and yoga. See, in the beginning of this video, I only had the celebrities talking about meditation. It's a little harder to find, popular names, I guess you would say, that talk about yoga or celebrities, so to speak, because I tried to keep it to what the mass majority of people know. Well, currently, as I record this, that's what it is right now. Maybe I will add monks, yogis, and just other people speaking about yoga itself, because at the end of the day, people are just people anyway. But just to show people, because people only take advice from other people that they admire or look up to. So that was the purpose of using the celebrities. But Kobe Bryant, Kobe Bryant is somebody that me myself has personally admired growing up as a kid, especially before my spiritual awakening. But I didn't realize I didn't even know, honestly, that Kobe Bryant took time to go stay with some monks, and he was really into meditation. When I wasn't spiritual, I didn't know that. Of course, when I become spiritual, I come across Kobe being into these things. And then, you start to come across a lot of celebrities or just people that you've known your whole life into some of these things, at least some of them. So, a lot of them explained a lot of reasons why, it's beneficial. And obviously it's a beneficial thing. This is something that's been around forever. This is something that you've heard of since you was a child forever. You've always known what this is. Why do you think so many people do it? Why do you think it's universal? Meditation may just be the greatest gift on this plane. Or you know what? It's the greatest tool to use to experience the gift of life itself. And you may be thinking, how can I use meditation to experience life? How is that something I could do simultaneously? And that is because the more that you train your brain to be present in the moment, because that's what true meditation is, to be truly present and to be the observer, to be the witness to the thoughts and to the sounds, the noises, what is going on around you, to truly bear witness to it, to be the witness to your own emotions, to understand, to look at them. Because to be a witness of something, you can't be that thing. So to understand and to fully bathe in that energy of being the witness of your emotions, your thoughts, the present moment, the world. Once you continue to keep training your brain like this is something that you can do simultaneously as you move through life, as you do other things. You can have an outer body experience at will while you are navigating through life. And the more you do this, the more that you realize that this life is like a game, and it starts to become a little trippy. Now, that's just one benefit of meditation. As you can see by the picture I have on the screen right now, they say prayer is talking to the universe, meditation is listening to it. See, one thing you have to understand is that when you pray for something, this is how the universe works. When you're praying for something, in this realm of existence, what will come to you is opportunities for you to take action on, for that prayer to manifest. Now, a lot of times you may miss the opportunity because your mind is too jumbled up with society. It's too jumbled up of what you got to do tomorrow morning, of what you have to do tomorrow night, what you have to do next week, what you didn't do yesterday, what you have coming up, what desires you have, what this person said about this, what you forgot to do, this, that, and the third, whatever is running through your mind. Most people don't even take a few minutes out the day to just be. So because of this, you are not listening to the universe. You are not listening to God or whoever you believe in, whoever you're praying to. You are not receiving the downloads to take advantage of the ideals, the opportunities that may be being downloaded into your conscious that will lead you to whatever it is that you're praying for, which you might not be able to see that because you don't know where the path truly leads. You may not understand why you're being pulled or intuitively guided into something that you just don't understand. But it can, or depending on if it's truly your intuition, it will lead you to whatever you are desiring. But you cannot, your intuition, it's hard for you to navigate and understand what is your intuition and to hear your intuition and to have an open mind towards your intuition when, like I said, your mind is jumbled up with things that you've seen on TV, things that you've seen on your phone, things that happen at work, things that happen at school, things that your friends was talking about, things that your significant other is going through or talking about, some type of trauma that you haven't gotten over from your past that is still stuck in your mind. All of this is blocking your connection with the divine because silence. How can you hear if you're not silent? How can your mind receive downloads if it's not silent? The same way how you can't listen to another person speak if you're talking, how can you get downloads from the higher source, from the universe, if your mind is always at 100 miles per hour? Now, I seen a post one time, or I seen a video where actually when I was looking for videos for this video about people talking about meditation, I didn't add this one because of what the guy said. He said it's impossible to clear your mind or to not think because we're human beings, and that's just impossible. The only way you can do that is if you're dead or enlightened. Maybe I'm just enlightened. Well, to be honest with you, I am enlightened. Honestly, I'm not even going to say I feel like it. I'm saying me wanting to say I feel like it is just me trying to be considerate to other people, which I had to catch myself real quick because I know I am. But I don't think what he said is true. Now, yes, it is true that you don't have to necessarily have no thoughts at all to meditate, because you are meditating when you are being witness to your thoughts. Like I said earlier in the video, when you bear witness to it, that's meditation in itself. You're already meditating. You don't have to worry about clearing your mind. Yes, that is true. You don't have to necessarily do that. But it is possible to actually have zero thoughts within a couple seconds at least, or a few minutes. That is a very possible thing. He just didn't do that himself, apparently. And that is eventually what you'll be able to do after you keep bearing witness to your thoughts and, just asking yourself and realizing where those thoughts are coming from and where certain emotions are coming from, and choosing what thoughts you want to believe and what thoughts you want to accept, and choosing what feelings you want to accept, right? That is a form of meditation in itself, but eventually what do you think this will lead to? This will lead to you controlling your thoughts. You controlling your thoughts controls your feelings and controls your emotions. This is the biggest benefit to meditation. You realize that you're not the thoughts and the emotions, and you take control of it because you realize that you're just experiencing that. So now the outside world will test you. The outside world will come and will test that power, and it's not going to be easy in the beginning, at least, but you have more control over that. And like I said, once you can keep training your mind, when you keep building that mental muscle and spiritual muscle, because meditation is spiritual, you will grow those muscles, and eventually it will get to a point where when you start to meditate, you can be truly present. And to be truly present, thoughts are not in your mind, or at least you don't hang on to them. So one of the things that build, this is when you get to the next level, is your consciousness naturally grows every single time you meditate for a certain amount of time. Your consciousness will grow. Your self-realization, your self-awareness will grow. And then you will start to truly see that what the real spiritual teachers speak about, you will see the same thing with your own eyes. Because you will then have the eyes to see. Because listen, spirituality is a natural state for all people with souls. Because we are spirits. So anybody can tap into this. It just depends on the length of it or how long it takes you to realize self, to tap into the oneness of the universe, the illusion of it all. It just depends on the person. It just depends on your conditioning. It depends on your mental. It just depends on a lot. But it's possible for anyone. So this is the main things that you will benefit from meditation. Not to mention the simple human things like, that the simple human desires such as, calmness, release of stress, things like that. And I'm only saying it in that tone because that's minuscule to me for what I seek from it. But for some people, that's all they want. That's all they need. So you could just use it for that reason. You don't have to go deeper. You don't have to get much more from it if that's all you want from it, because you can just have that. Like what a lot of the celebrities were saying, they weren't really getting that deep about it, but they were talking about something that at least that the general person will experience if they practice it. You know what I mean? If they don't dig deeper or go to the extreme, because I could be a little extreme. I could be a little bit of an extremist in certain things when I'm really into something. But at least that's the one thing, is you being calmer and peaceful, that inner peace, man, is probably the best thing you can feel. I'm not even going to lie. So I'm not even going to downplay it, because that inner peace is something that I'm really grateful for. Now, let's talk about yoga. The general person doesn't really know anything about yoga for real. When you from where I'm from, or you grew up how I grew up, when I was a kid, when I thought about yoga, if I'm being frank, if I'm being honest, the first thing I would think about is white people, specifically white women, in tights, in a big room, doing stretches, and something that looked like somewhat of exercises, because some yoga practices are somewhat exercises. But in all reality, yoga is really a part of Indian culture and Asian culture. Well, it's really a part of all our cultures, because I'm sure indigenous people, when I say indigenous, I'm talking about black people. If you know, you know. Indigenous people were doing this thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years ago, to be honest. But these are practices that our oldest ancestors, our most powerful ancestors were practicing. And just that, how it goes in this, this matrix, how it is in this generation, or how it was when, I have nothing against white people, but that's what it was. Or that's how it's been, they popularized, or they put the white face on everything. Basically, that's what I was trying to say. No offense to any white people, because at the end of the day, race is an illusion. We're all one, and everybody's my family. But understand, the oppressors, that's how they made it to be. They purposely, and this is a little off topic, but this is very powerful and deep right here. They purposely chose one race, quote unquote, to treat better, because doing this will automatically create a disconnect and create separation and create what we call racism and things of that nature. But that's on an energetical level. That's on a deeper level that maybe I'll touch on in future videos, but I don't want to get too off topic. So yoga. So what is it about yoga? Now there's many different types of yoga. And I find the ones that are like workouts are not that spiritual. you know, I guess they do give you like a dopamine release, and you know they're healthy for you, like in a physical sense. I do believe that, but the yogas that I find to be actually powerful on a spiritual energy type of level, to where you can feel bliss through your body, ecstasy, where it almost feels like internal orgasms, or you can literally feel your energy moving. There was a time before where I was doing pranayama yoga. I'm sorry, not pranayama yoga, kundalini yoga. I just mixed up pranayama. Pranayama is the breath work, but I was doing a certain type of yoga, kundalini yoga. That's to move the energy, you know, the chakras in your body, is to move that kundalini energy through the chakras. That's the purpose of it. That's something that you could do to really show yourself that chakras are real, because you will start to feel it in your body. I felt like I was in an anime because I can feel my energy. I felt like I was going to rise. So this is, after that experience, I truly believe that there were people who meditated and would float. I'm not saying I did that. I didn't do that. You know, I'm just probably not at that level. But I felt it's like you almost detach from your body. So the correlation between yoga and meditation is that when you're doing yoga, the best way to do it is to do it while you're meditating, or to meditate while you're doing it. But it's a more difficult way to do it, because usually in meditation, people are sitting still. So once you get pretty good at meditation, it's not going to be too hard for you to be present while you're sitting still. But now in yoga, you're doing certain poses, which are really full body mudras. And what mudras are certain hand signs that you can do that activate certain energies in your body. That's just how the body was designed, because they actually work. But yoga is a full body mudra, which activates certain energies through your body. You're doing full body mudras while trying to be present in the moment, meditating. You doing these things is upping your level, is upping your spiritual ability. It's upping the experience. Is you really, because this is the thing, you can't just listen to people talk about spirituality and just, you know, maybe your soul may resonate with it because intuitively you know it's real, but you are missing out on experiences if you don't do certain practices to activate your body, because we're not taught these things. Society isn't going to teach you that. Society isn't going to encourage you to do so. So you have to learn or train yourself to do these things. And just like riding a bike, you might not get it the first try, but eventually you're going to be on your way. And you're going to see. You're going to have the eyes to see. And now let me tell y'all something. Because if you ever met me in person, subconsciously or consciously, depending on the level of your conscious mind, you will know I am very high vibrational. No matter how I'm expressing myself, even if I'm just quiet, I'm a very high vibrational person. And I'm going to give y'all a great example of how you can just tell. A couple weeks ago, I was working a shift. This was my second time working with a particular group of people I just met. I didn't know them at all. The first time that I was working with them, I barely spoke that day. Not because I was in my feelings, not because I was down, nothing like that. I was feeling great. But, you know, sometimes it's better. I'm an observer, you know. Sometimes I'm in that such a meditative state, I just don't have anything to say. There's times like that in person where I'm just, you know, it just depends. It just depends on how I'm feeling. I was just quiet the first day. The second day, one of the people I worked with on the first day came up to me. Mind you, I barely even opened my mouth the first day. I barely even interacted with this person on the first day. We didn't have no conversations. And the first thing he said to me, mind you, I had a regular face, regular demeanor, regular energy. I was chilling. I was calm. I was cooling. I was really just in a meditative state the first day. So I didn't show anything for anybody to just think, oh, he's happy or he feels good or he's high vibrational. No. But the second day when I'm working, in the beginning of the day, he came up to me. And one of the first things he said to me is that you're a very high vibrational person. Now, I did nothing to make him think that. I did nothing to indicate that to him. Nothing. He could just tell intuitively. He said, you vibe high. You vibe high. I could feel your energy. True story, y'all. To me, I ain't even gonna lie. To me, it was just confirmation. It was kind of like, wow. I literally just, and it was a lot of us working too. So it's like 30 of us. So for some reason, out of all the people that might have been quiet that day, or all the people that was present, or even the people that were loud or just in a good mood, he told me, you're very high vibrational. I can see it. Those are literally his words. That he can feel my energy. He can see it. And mind you, I wasn't doing anything. I was just working. To myself. Quiet. Calm. And he just wanted to spark up a conversation with me. And this is one of the main things he was saying. This is one of the things that are going to naturally happen when you do these practices. Your energy is rising. Energy is real, y'all. It's so real that when you do these practices, especially yoga, you start to resonate more in that spiritual body, and your outer body starts to feel more like a shell. It starts to feel more and more like a suit because you are detaching from that physical aspect, from the physical realm. You are tapping into a higher spiritual aspect, the highest you can do while you're on this plane of existence. And the most apparent thing that I've noticed from doing these spiritual practices is that I am even more emotionally stable than I've been, because I've always been somewhat emotionally stable. But you know what? I take that back. I was not always emotionally stable, but I am now on a high level, and I owe that all to yoga and meditation. Very emotionally stable and grounded. I'm grounded. Panic? I do not panic. I can't imagine myself panicking. I'm just too stable internally. And I just want to get back to speaking about meditation for a quick second. This is the thing with people where they'll hear about something over and over. This is what I mean by you not being able to listen to God or listen to the universe that gives you the downloads that will help you in life. Because, a little story time, a friend of mine one time was telling me that he felt like he needed something to just separate himself from worrying about the future, thinking about the past, and always just stressing about life. And I told him, it's not a secret. I've been telling you about meditation for a long time. You just won't do it. That is the whole purpose. Or, someone argue what the purpose is, because there's different things you could get from it. But that is something you will get from it. That is one of the first things you will get from it. Is detaching from this matrix. The shackles that are put on your mind through what your eyes see and what you are experiencing through the five senses in this reality. When he said that to me, when people say things like that, it's like, yo, bro, I know you don't listen. Because what do you think we've been telling you? People say they want things, but they're not willing to do the work for it. You tell me you want that, but you're not even willing to do something that obviously is implied to you, at least, because you didn't experience it, so you don't know if it's true, but it's implied to you that this will help you with that thing that you're having a problem with. So if it's implied, if so many people are telling you that, the least you can do is see for yourself. I always felt like that. If I hear something enough and I'm hearing good reviews or good rapport or just good news or good something about something that people could benefit from, that's kind of how I got into meditation and yoga in the first place. I was just so curious to why do so many people do it? And obviously they love to do it, and obviously they get a benefit from it. So I want to see what that's about. And the only way I'm going to be able to see is if I try for myself. But society, the world, has people in a chokehold that they can't even hear their own inner self, their true self, their higher self, because everything else is blocking it off. Because trust me, your higher self, if you're somebody who's too indulged in stress of the world, your higher self is definitely nudging you to meditate, at the very least, especially if you're hearing me speak about this right now, especially. But that is the main benefits that comes to mind right in this moment of meditation and yoga. I didn't even get to start talking about manifestation. I didn't get to start talking about the things that it will lead you to, your other powers in the world. But we're going to leave it at that right now. Just remember that whatever you are searching for, the universe is giving you opportunities to fulfill that. But you have to have the ability to listen.